Oh, I think I might be. Okay. Hey, y'all. Okay. I finally got it together. It took me a second. It's been a long time, y'all. It's been a really, really long time. I hope everybody's doing well. Shabbat Shalom. Please let me know if you can hear me. Um, Somebody tell me. Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Sister Ruhama, it's good to see you too. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Can you hear me? Just want to make sure. Okay. It's been a long time, y'all. Man, so I just want to say peace and blessings to everybody that's um, in the chat right now, and peace and blessings to everybody that will view this later. I appreciate you guys taking the time to come spend a little time with me. A lot has been going on. A whole lot has been going on, and try to give y'all the quick rundown. But before I do that, I just want to say that it's good to see a lot of familiar names and faces in the chat right now. Shalom to everybody. Hey, y'all. Hey. I'm in a new environment, y'all. I'm trying to get used to my new environment. So hopefully, I feel like, I don't know if it's a pregnancy thing, but I feel like I'm leaning to one side and I can't straighten myself up. But that's beside the point. Um, DJ is currently asleep. He actually went to put our baby to bed. We have a 2-year-old. She'll be two in a couple of days. So have a 2-year-old, and she needed to go to sleep. And so he said, I'm gonna lay her down. And I was like, okay. And then next thing you know, he's out. So, I went in the room. I was like, love you, babe. He just looked at me like, okay, you don't know who I am right now. It's okay. So I'm gonna let him go ahead and get some rest. He had to work today. He had schoolwork to do today. Busy. But yes, shalom, shalom. Hey, Sherman, shalom, Shabbat shalom, y'all. Shabbat shalom, Jaden, Angela, Angie, love y'all. Hey, Ashley. Hey, y'all. So DJ's not gonna be joining me tonight. But y'all willing? If y'all gives me anything else or him anything, then we will, of course, share that with you guys. And otherwise, once we get a little bit more settled in, then we will resume fellowship. When we can, however we can fit that in, and I'll explain that. So, basically, blessings, Teo Ministries, blessings. Hey, y'all. So basically, we DJ and I, in our children, our 5 children, we relocated to Georgia. And we just got here. Let me see what today is, the 20th. So we got here about 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, and we're in the process of getting settled in. It was a major change, and it was a fast change. We were planning on going. The plan was, we had a couple of reasons for relocating. We wanted to be closer to the coast, and we wanted to be near brothers and sisters that we could fellowship with, right? Because we do believe that the Most High strongly, that He is calling us together to assemble together in groups. That desire is there for us to be together and to be able to worship together, to fellowship together, and to leave together, right? And so, Father Yahuwah blessed us with the ability to do that. So we are. It's just been an amazing transition. A lot of movement, y'all. And by movement, physical things that we had to do, mental things that we had to overcome, and thankfully we had the support of brothers and sisters that we have grown close to, to keep us encouraged as we pray and ask if this was the Most High's will, for us to relocate from Michigan to Georgia. The reasons why we were doing it we felt were valid reasons, right? And so the desire was there. And once Yahuwah, after much prayer, He gave us the green light. then it was game on, and so it's been a long time of preparing to get where we are, in this moment, in this house. So I just want to thank you, Hua, first and foremost, for everything that he's done, and for the brothers and sisters that he's put into our lives. And so we made it, and we are in Middle Georgia. So, oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. And you're coming to Georgia as well, Brew Creek? Yeah. See, okay. So we feel okay. I remember Lisa Cabrera when we were praying about if we should come to Georgia. We were praying about it, and then a couple of things happened. Y'all, so much has happened. The Most High has been moving so like in such strength, on our behalf, and just showing us where he wants us to go. It's like you just got to follow him. But all that being said, I watched a short video from Lisa Cabrera. I say it was a couple months to maybe a few months ago or so, and she was talking about how a lot of Hebrews are shifting down south right now. And hey, that's what's up, Angie. That's what's up. And so, anywho, what's in Georgia in pursuit? So, like I said, family that we have made. You know what I mean, in this awakening, but also there's the port of Savannah is not too far from us, right? And so we wanted to get positioned. We didn't want to stay in Michigan, number one, and number two, with everything happening, we wanted to be in position to be closer to the coast, right? Closer to an exit. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is that we were debating on, we weren't really debating on, we decided, right? We decided that we were going to wait until the top of the year to move. Like, okay, it seems like he was giving us green light. Okay, we'll wait until the top of the year, right? But he wouldn't let us. And how everything played out, it was so fast. It's like to us, it would make sense for us to stay and just kind of transition, very smoothly into Georgia. You know what I mean? But he wouldn't let us. It was like, you need to go now. You know what I mean? Like everything it was urgent. Like you can't wait. And so we said, okay. And so I'm a very calculated person, as my little sister would say. I'm very calculated. So I had a plan all written out, and Daryl, that's okay. DJ's name is Daryl. I didn't gave his name up. Okay. So DJ is a junior. So Daryl Jr. I didn't gave his government name. Sorry. I'm used to calling him Daryl to people that, when certain people, I call him Daryl, I say Daryl, but yeah, we're going to forget about that. But anyways, so DJ and I were discussing it, and we're like, okay, it sounds great to wait, 7 months pregnant, and, moving in the middle of pregnancy and all that, it's like, well, why don't we just wait till the baby's born? I already have a midwife, we already have that worked out. We'll wait. But like I said, Father Yahuwah didn't allow us to wait. And so we had to get up and go. And so we did. And lo and behold, and we got here on the 3rd. And then all of a sudden, we after the drive, we're sitting in a hotel because we got here, and we had to, before we moved into the house, we had to wait a couple of days. And so, and then I'm seeing that stuff is popping off in the Middle East. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Like, it is overnight. And that's how it's been with everything, y'all. It's been overnight. Stuff is just popping off. So all that being said, we relocated. The Most High has blessed us with a beautiful brother and sister and a family to connect with. And there's more brothers and sisters that are coming right where we are, so that we can connect. And I believe Yahuwah is setting us up to lead together. You know what I mean? Especially at this rate of things happening. So no, I'm not in North Carolina. Though I did live in North Carolina. I lived in Goldsboro from the time I was 8 to 12. 8 to 12, I lived in Goldsboro, North Carolina. And then we moved. We moved to California, and then I ended up in Illinois, and then met DJ, and and we just kept moving, So all that being said, I last night, well, there's a couple of reasons why I'm coming on. I was going to give you some time, as far as getting on to fellowship, right? Until we got settled. Like I said, we homeschool. We, DJ works. We're both currently enrolled in school right now, and getting all we can get out of, learning what we can learn, while we're here, so that we can take it with us, to the continent. And because we have desires and things that we want to accomplish when we get to the continent, and so we're doing what we can now while stuff is hitting the fan, and we'll get as far as we can, and then we'll continue that forward, when we get there. So all that being said, I was gonna give it some time as far as fellowship, coming on, until we got settled and everything. But everything that's happening, I got so stirred up, y'all, and I don't come on to share anything unless I'm stirred up, because I'm not the type to just look for something to give you. It's not like that. It's when the twisting starts right inside of me. It's a twist in a like I have to, you know what I mean? Like I have to do this. And so, today's preparation day for us, spend it, cleaning and cooking and stuff and getting ready for Shabbat. But, I had to get things in order so that I could get on. And that's why it's so late right now. So, so all that being said, I felt the urge, especially after last night when I saw, that speech or recording of Biden. And he declared, when he essentially declared war. And I was like, okay, all right. And then, so BJ and I were sitting, we were talking, and I kid you not, it just started to flow. Like, it started to make sense to me, certain things. And I'm going to get into that. So again, I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the chat. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown, of what's been going on with us. Again, yeah, the new Biden, we're still getting Inflection Point president. And the fact that when he talked, he like his eyes are closed. I'm like, bro, like open your eyes, dude. But anyways, so we're still not settled, but this is important. And I'm so glad to be here with you guys right now. And I don't know what it's gonna look like in the next, month, 2. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna go ahead and get this out. So last night, DJ and I we were talking after the speech, and I'm like, what came to mind, I don't know if you guys are familiar, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Albert Pike and his prediction, or not prediction, but rather his statement on the 3 world wars that were going to take place, right? And when I was in Your City Christianity, I remember seeing this, this letter, and I'm going to pull it up here, and talking about the 3 world wars and how they're going to go and what was going to be the result of them and everything. And I remember him mentioning in the 3rd World War that it was going to be between the Zionists and the Muslim countries, and that basically through them warring, they're going to destroy each other, and Christianity is going to be destroyed. And I said, well, how? When I was in Your City Christianity, I said, how can a war destroy Christianity? I couldn't figure it out. And then last night, after Biden declared war, basically that's what he did, it dawned on me. So I just want to share that with you guys. This is thoughts that have come to my mind. If it be of the Most High, praise Yahuwah. This could be speculation on my part, but this is just how it just came together, in my head. So I want to first pull this letter up really quickly, and then we are going to we're going to talk about it a little bit, and we're going to go from there. And so, you know what? Rather than that, maybe I won't pull that letter up just yet. I'm gonna get into some things first, and then we will pull the letter up. Before I get to the meat of why I'm here right now. Okay, so Basically from the beginning, um, and I don't know if a lot of people have been with me from the beginning. From the beginning, I stated that I felt like there's going to be some type of climax, right? From the climax is our birth, and then from our birth is our deliverance. You know what I mean? And so everything has been leading up to this point, where we are from the top of 2020 to this very point. It's been all, accumulating, right? And we've been headed toward that climax. I don't know if you guys ever, this is a random reference, but I used to watch The Price is Right, and there was some game where you would go up the mountain, like this character would move up the mountain, and I don't know if it was like it would yodel, like yodeling character, but it would move. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about from Price is Right. This character would move up this green mountain, and it was some game on Price is Right. And so I feel like the whole time we've been headed up this mountain, and we're waiting to get to the peak, right? And so essentially, that's what has been happening since the top of 2020. And I've always stated that I believe that the United States something's going to happen, and it's going to be self-inflicted, whether it be a situation that happened like in New York over 20 years ago, whether it be self-inflicted, like the fact that they are letting all these people over the border, right? All these military-aged men, no women and children, coming from all nations. You know what I mean? We thought it was just one, 1, 2, 3, or the Chinese or the Asian, or what do they call it? What do they call it? They call it nationalists. I forgot what they Chinese nationalists or something they call them. It's just a Chinese. No, it's people coming from all different nations that are coming over the border. They know exactly where they're going. They have their marching orders. Let me tell you something. If I was running from this country and I ended up in, say, I don't know, India or whoever, I wouldn't be able to tell you where I'm going. I'm just running. You know what I mean? But they know exactly where they're going. I'm going to California. I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to Texas. I'm going. How do you know? You ain't never even been here before. You know what I mean? So, yes, the Uncover United Nations, right? Absolutely. Shalom, Sister Stephanie. Shalom. But yeah, so whether I always thought that it would be self-inflicted, because that's how this nation gets down, right? If you want someone to do something, if they want the people, see, they manipulate the minds of the people, right? There's a couple of things that the enemy will do, and I've experienced this in my own life, my own household growing up, right? Because unfortunately, I had a very wicked dad, very wicked, and a lot of times the enemy will accuse you of doing something worse, accuse another person of doing something worse than what that person does, right? To manipulate you into going to being at odds with that person, or keeping you away from that person, or whatever the case. The devil will the thing with the decapitated babies. Oh, look, they decapitated 40 babies. Like it was 40 on the dot. It wasn't 28. It wasn't 23, 40, 47. It was 40, exactly 40 babies on the dot that they beheaded. They will give you the worst thing you could possibly hear to rile you up, to make you want to fight somebody, right? It's a game. It's a mind game. And if you don't have a strong mind, you'll literally, people watch the news and be like, okay, whatever, okay. They tell you something, you be like, yup, that's it. You know what I mean? Propaganda, exactly. Angie, love y'all. Propaganda. And so, all that being said, I've always believed that it would be self-inflicted, right? And then it would say, oh, see, we got to get into war, because they did this to me, they did this to us. Now we got to fight. So I, with all that being said, I believe that we are approaching the climax, right? And we're not far off. Not far off. I mean, it's any day. We wake up and stuff happens. happens. Okay, so I'll real quick. I want to share with you something to kind of back that up that I saw. So give me here 1 second. Hope you guys are all doing well. I hope I just hope everything's well, y'all. It's good to see y'all, really. So let's see here. Mm-mm. Okay, and this may be, hopefully this plays correctly. This may be a little bit long for your taste, and by that I mean, more than 3 minutes, but this is like key information, you guys, that is important. So I want you to listen to this, okay? Check this out.
Take a look what our fearless leader had to say. We are at a global inflection point that is bigger than any party or politics. Read between the lines. We are at a global inflection point. What could he possibly mean by an inflection point? How significant is an inflection point? Very, very well crafted, eloquent language, isn't it? Well, let's consult with the Oxford English Dictionary. An inflection point is defined as a point of a curve at which a change in the direction of the curvature occurs. In other words, it is a turning point. A turning point, you say? Yes, my good man, yes. That also means World War III, on the precipice of nuclear Armageddon. Now look at what we have here. This is how most people think. Linear. This is why shit always hits the fan and everybody's like, oh, we didn't expect that. It's called the normalcy bias. People think in linear terms. They think that the future is going to be a direct continuation of the past. An inflection point occurs at the point of disruption that precedes the exponential explosion of said thing. So we are about to hit a disruption. A disruption could be a disruption in technology, could be a disruption in, critical services that we need in order to survive. Or it could just be World War III, and I'm afraid that's where we're at. And up until this point, everybody thinks everything is normal. Everybody thinks it still looks linear, right? That whole Petri dish experiment. The frog in boiling water. Choose your metaphor. This is where we are, according to Biden. He is saying that the shit is about to hit the fan. He's telling you. Now get a load of this. This is how you really know shit's hitting the fan. Get a load of this. I mean, this is all you need to know right here. Senate passes symbolic resolution backing Israel 97-0. All those senators who were given those satellite phones around 6 months ago or so, the satellite phones that are going to send them the secret message to how they can get whisked away into the Denver airport bunker or wherever the hell they're going to go. They got a place. We don't. That's all you need to know. And this is proof of that. Take a look at public opinion. Now, this is from an NBC poll, so we can presume that even if there are Republicans taking this poll, that they might not be as hard right and pro-Israel as others. So take it with a grain of salt, but for the most part, I'd say this is fairly accurate. Either way, it's 50-50. We should not. 53%. Do you see 50 senators voting against this? No, because they know something that we don't. They know something that we don't. They know that this war is more than just about Israel. They know that this is tied in to the calculus of what is going on in Russia and China. The Middle East is a critical pivot point, an inflection point. I've been using that term inflection for the last 2 weeks, which makes me wonder, maybe they got some ghostwriters that be lurking in the shadows in the channel biting my rhymes. It could be. I don't want to get too high on my horse here, but you just never know. You just never know. Apparently, there's some people who watch this channel who are people in.
There is one secret to going from successful to the best at what
Sorry about that, guys.
you do, to become a thought leader, a respected voice.
Are people in pretty prestigious positions anyways. I don't want to get too big. I don't want to get too big, guys. I'm only prepared to take down a few people if the shizzy hits the fizzy. So, got to keep them off my back. I don't want to get too big. It's better to stay at this level. Now, get a load of this. This is what's been going on in the last 24 hours. You can't make this shit up. I think that Joe Biden interview and many other people I've been talking to think that it was pre-recorded. For starters, he didn't address it all. And this would have been a great thing for him to talk about if he was trying to sell more war, was the fact that American military bases have been attacked almost a dozen times in the past 24 hours throughout the Middle East. You have the Yemenis sending long-range missiles to Israel. And if you don't think the Yemenis, if you think it's just a little country you haven't heard of, well, take a look at what the Yemenis can bring to bear. Okay? The Yemenis have been dealing with their own civil war that I guess has been reconciled with the Iranians and the Saudis. So these people, they know how to fight a war. They're not afraid to fight a war. The Houthis are a very, I don't want to say bloodthirsty, but they ain't afraid to get their hands dirty. We'll say that much, all right? Now, they're firing a long-range missile that some people didn't even think that they had in the first place. Apparently, it was shot down by a U.S. ship. But did they get this from the Iranians? This all comes back to the Black Sea. So please, stick with me. I'm going to tell you what's about to happen next, or what I think is going to happen next. Bear in mind, at this inflection point that we are now at, where things are going to get parabolically chaotic, as Biden says, it is winter. When are you going to do some major bad nuclear war stuff? In winter. Now, I'm not saying
Okay, so I apologize for the buffering. I'm on my laptop right now, and so we're trying to make do. But so an inflection point, right? So an inflection point is basically the same as a turning point. It's the same as a climax, right? We're there, right? We're there, and so and anybody and everybody can see it, no matter what you. No matter what lens you're looking through, no matter if you're looking through the spiritual or no matter you're looking through the secular, like this gentleman here, you can see the difference. You can see what's the inflection point. You can see what's happening, right? And so inflection point. So 12 military bases have been attacked in the last 24 hours in the Middle East, right? United States military bases have been attacked, right? 12 of them. Okay, so you got the Jewish people, they're blowing up hospitals. They just blew up like 25 apartment buildings, gave the citizens 30 minutes to leave. Somebody said they got a text during breakfast that they had 30 minutes to leave. And then they got the building got hit. You know what I mean? So imagine, you know what I mean? You had 30 minutes to leave your home before it gets blown up. You know what I mean? And yes, 12. That's an interesting number. Absolutely. So, they're blowing up hospitals, they're blowing up churches, all the stuff that's happening right now with them and the blatant disregard for life, right? The media wants you to be upset with the Palestinians and feel a certain way, but these people are literally slaughtering these Palestinians. Palestinians ain't got guns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so, and all the slaughtering that's happening at the same time, you got other nations rising up and like, don't you go in Gaza? If you go in Gaza, we're gonna have some issues. You know what I mean? So, inflection point. That's where we're at right now. We are at the climax, and it's getting hotter and hotter. And so the fact that Biden came on last night and he talks about how we can't walk away, right? Just certain verbiage he used, denoting that they were going to fight on behalf of the Jewish people and on behalf of the Ukrainians. They're going to fight because they can't let Putin and they can't let Hamas, continue to do what they do, because the United States is the beacon of light, and like they're the order in the world, and and so on and so forth. And so I just want to, that's a good one. Yeah. I seen that someone said, the newer generations, they don't support the Jewish people, the Jewish state, like the other generations did. These newer generations, they're not going for that, right? And so it is interesting. It is interesting. And so with that being said, I just wanted to really quickly, if you just share a couple of we'll say lines that Joe Biden or whoever wrote his his speech gave, and just the manipulation in that, and how he said what he said, as far as us getting ready to go to war. So I wanted to share that really, really quickly. And again, I apologize if it buffers a little bit. I have one more small video after this, and then we'll be done with video. So hopefully it plays well. But it's important. So I'm going to share another few minutes of this, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit.
Extremely important. Now just remember, these words were chosen specifically by his speechwriters in order to convey the seriousness of this situation, and he even referenced World War II.
The terrorist group Hamas unleashed pure, unadulterated evil in the world. But sadly, the Jewish people know perhaps better than anyone that there is no limit to the depravity of people when they want to inflict pain on others. The assault on Israel echoes nearly 20 months of war, tragedy, and brutality inflicted on the people of Ukraine, people that were very badly hurt since Putin launched his all-out invasion. It's sick. Hamas and Putin represent different threats, but they share this in common. They both want to completely annihilate a neighboring democracy, completely annihilate it. Hamas' stated purpose for existing is the destruction of the state of Israel and the murder of Jewish people. I know these conflicts can seem far away. And it's natural to ask, why does this matter to America? So let me share with you why making sure Israel and Ukraine succeed is vital for America's national security. History has taught us that when terrorists...
Okay, so he says it's vital for America's national security, right? He's going to tell you why. Why they can't stand down, right? Okay.
Don't pay a price for their terror. When dictators don't pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos and death and more destruction. They keep going, and the cost and the threats to America and the world keep rising. So if we don't stop Putin's appetite for power and control in Ukraine, he won't limit himself just to Ukraine. And if Putin attacks a NATO ally, we will defend every inch of NATO which the treaty requires and calls for.
So he says if he doesn't stop him, right, then X, Y, and Z. You hear the language? Okay.
We'll have something that we do not seek. Make it clear, we do not seek. We do not seek to have American troops fighting in Russia or fighting against Russia. Beyond Europe, we know that our allies, and maybe most importantly, our adversaries and competitors, are watching. They're watching our response in Ukraine as well. And if we walk away and let Putin erase Ukraine's independence, would-be aggressors around the world would be emboldened to try the same. The risk of conflict and chaos could spread in other parts of the world, in the Indo-Pacific, in the Middle East, especially in the Middle East. Iran.
So they don't seek to put soldiers out there, but they can't walk away, because if they walk away, again, X, Y, and Z. You know, this is a well-written, right now I am teaching my 5 and 6 year old. We are going through, I'm sorry, Manny's up. No, Manny just turned 6. Okay. My 6 and 7 year old right now, you know, because I homeschool, we're going over different types of writing types, right? Sorry to interrupt, but this is important. So the first type of writing type went over was an opinion piece, opinion writing. You know, second type of writing was an informative text, right? Which is pretty cool to, you know, that children, you know, my 6 and 7 year old are learning this and they get it, right? And then the third one we just went over was it was an opinion, it was a informative text, and then a narrative, right? And so the way that he is given this speech, this was written by the book. You know what I mean? This is well written, beyond him, we'll just say. And so this is very strategic, well thought out. He lists, he tells you, you know, and when you learn, you know, about writing, they say, okay, you have to list your topic, and then you have to give details and reasons, supporting reasons for that topic. And that's what he's doing, right? You know, it's coming from an educational standpoint. I see the game. I peep the game. You know what I mean? So that's a little tidbit, but we're going to keep listening to him talk about how they don't want to put people, you know, send soldiers over there, but they can't walk away, because if they do, then, you know, the tyrants will get emboldened, and then they'll want to fight against us. And so, you know, for national security's sake, we gotta do something. But, you know, a couple more minutes.
Iran is supporting Russia's in Ukraine, and it's supporting Hamas and other terrorist groups in the region, and will continue to hold them accountable, I might add. You know, just as in World War II, today patriotic American workers are building the arsenal of democracy and serving the cause of freedom.
You see what he's doing here? He's referencing World War II in order to try and convince people that today is just as dangerous, and basically prepare for World War III. Notice how he never talks about peace in Ukraine. He always talks about the war, and that's no exception for tonight. But every time he brings up the war, he never talks about peace. He never talks about ending the war, peace treaties, or ceasefires. When it comes to Ukraine, it's almost like they really want this war to continue. Now listen to him telling people that America is the glue that holds the world together.
American leadership is what holds the world together. American alliances are what keep us, America, safe. American values are what make us a partner that other nations want to work with. To put all that at risk, if we walk away from Ukraine, we turn our backs on Israel, it's just not worth it. What would happen if we walked away? We are the essential nation. Meanwhile, Putin has turned to Iran and North Korea to buy attack drones and ammunition to terrorize Ukrainian cities and people.
But wait, there's more. He even brings up the Civil War, believe it or not.
I'm told I was the first American to enter a war zone not controlled by the United States military since President Lincoln. America is a beacon to the world. Still. Whereas my friend Madeleine Albright said, the indispensable nation. Tonight, there are innocent people all over the world who hope because of us, who believe in a better life because of us, who are desperate not to be forgotten by us, and are waiting for us. But time is of the essence. I know we have our divisions at home. We have to get past them. We can't let petty, partisan, angry politics get in the way of our responsibilities as a great nation. We cannot and will not let terrorists like Hamas and tyrants like Putin win. I refuse to let that happen. In moments like these, we have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America. The United States of America. And there is nothing beyond our capacity if we do it together.
It's obvious what.
All right, guys. So just keep things. Anybody point if if you heard anything that stood out to you, please point it out. If you heard anything that stood out to you, please point it out in the chat. But it's just all I hear is "I sit as the queen." Oh, we are. What did he call? What kind of nation did it say they were? They were indispensable. Oh my goodness. Y'all are indispensable? Okay. That's the attitude, right? We cannot. We won't. I won't. We can't walk away, right? We don't seek to do this. Like that's like almost like somebody saying, well, I'm not trying to, you having a conversation with somebody and you're like, well, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but if your feelings are being hurt, I'm sorry. But I'm going to say this anyway. You know what I'm saying? We don't seek to put, soldiers over there, but we can't walk away, right? United. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A beacon of bacon. That's what it is. Unclean. Straight up. Oh, straight up. So who is this we? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm clicking stuff because it's going fast, y'all. Somebody said, who is this we? Gaslighting. That's his version of MAGA. Okay. Yeah, but there you go. There you go. Not the beacon, but the whore. You know what I mean? And so what he said, okay, it's like they need your approval, right? It's some wicked, you know what I mean? It's like they need you to be okay with them going in there, like what happened, with weapons of mass destruction. That's what we're talking. Oh, look what they did. We have to go to war, right? They have weapons of mass destruction. They got the people riled up, like, yeah, go get them. And then they went over there and they slaughtered those people and they stole and, so on and so forth. And so they're looking for you to be like, come on, yeah, we do have to do something about Putin. And we do have to do something about Hamas. Yes. And but see, the problem is, right, when you're talking about what you won't allow, you understand what I'm saying? There's other nations over there in the Middle East. We'll call it the Middle East, for, just for the sake of understanding. There's other nations over there that are like, we ain't down for what you're doing over there, right? And warning them not to go into Gaza. I want to read you this article real quick because it's not, see, this is bigger than just the United States, Israel, Russia, Ukraine, and a couple little beefs in it. This is going to be an all full out blown second Esdras, showdown, right? And it's going to come over here. It's going to start over there. It's going to come over here, right? And so look at what Iran says real quick. We're going to look at this. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. We will go to a couple of things. Let's see this right here. It says, Iran warns time is up, right? Tehran's chilling threat as Hamas-Israel war dramatically escalates after Gaza hospital is hit by blast killing 500, right? These people are wicked. These people are wicked, okay? So it says Iran's foreign minister declared on Wednesday that time is over for Israel as Joe Biden was set to arrive in Tel Aviv to try and calm a rapidly spiraling situation. No, you're not calming. You come to pour gasoline on a fire. We know how they get down. With anti-Israel protests flaring up across the region, the foreign minister's message echoes one posted by Iran's embassy in Syria that tweeted, "Time is up," in Hebrew. Remember when that time is up situation was happening years ago? Everybody's time is up. Time is up. Okay. It's unclear what the message is referred to, but came after an airstrike on a Gaza hospital on Tuesday, killing at least 500 people, according to the Palestinian authorities, right? The attack enraged people around the world. Israel and Palestinians both blame each other for the atrocity. Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed terrorist group based in Lebanon, called for a day of unprecedented anger against Israel, while Libya's foreign minister accused the Jewish state of war crimes and genocide. So we got Libya accusing them of war crimes and genocide. Yes, absolutely. We got Iran not happy. Syria talking about time is up, right? Okay. All right. This is what they want. Right? And so demonstrators in Beirut briefly set the U.S. embassy on fire in anger at the killings. And in Jordan, dozens of protesters attempted to storm the Israeli embassy. Protests were also held outside the British and French embassies in Tehran. I don't know how to say that, but we're going to try, y'all. Hossein Amir Abdulhalian, I don't know, y'all. Iran's foreign minister arrived in Saudi Arabia Tuesday after hospital bombing, a remarkable show of unity between, two former sworn enemies. So the point is that there's other nations that they're not happy with what's happening over there because they're literally destroying these people. Because they don't have the means to defend. Okay, so they're saying that, they were saying that, well, the Jewish people said, well, we didn't do it. We didn't blow up the hospital. It was one of their rockets. Okay. So they're fighting you. The Hamas is fighting you because of the fact that you stole their land. Okay. First and foremost, right. And moved them all the way, pushed them all the way to this little portion of a place, to Gaza, right? They're fighting you because of what you've done to them, but they're going to blow up their own hospital and kill their own people. But yet you grew up, or you blew up a Greek Orthodox, the oldest, I believe, Greek Orthodox church in Gaza, right? I believe it was in Gaza, right? Y'all did that, but y'all didn't kill the 500 people in the hospital because they did that. They killed their own people. For real? No, they're over there slaughtering those people, and them people cannot defend themselves. Again, 25 apartment buildings hit and 30 minutes to get out. Apartment buildings. You got 30 minutes to get out of an apartment building. 25 of them. Okay. So these other nations are not happy. They are going to attack. And what did Iran say? See, watch this. One more thing here. I'm going to share as far as a video goes. It's literally quick, couple of minutes about what Iran, again, this what just happened, Iran threatened them 5 days ago with this one here about going into Gaza, right? Because they laying them out with missiles, and then they're gonna walk in there and they're gonna slaughter them, and then they're gonna take over that place. At least that's what they plan to. So we're getting ready to get into the meat of what I think is going to happen. I'm just laying the foundation of what's happening. We all are pretty hip to a lot of what's going on, right? I'm laying the foundation, and then I'm going to get into what came to me about all of this, right? So we're going to go ahead and share the screen one more time. Iran gets to the party. It's currency. Yep, y'all's love. Absolutely. It's on popping. Okay. And then Russia just they got planes out there, right? In the Black Sea, or they in the Mediterranean, whatever, I had to find it exactly because there's so much information coming in that I gotta remember exactly what is what, you know what I mean? So you have to excuse me, but we're gonna go to this real quick. Just real quick, and listen to what Iran is saying. Okay, here, let's come back here, please. Let me do that. Come on.
According to my knowledge of the state of the resistance, I would like to warn the war criminals and the supporters of this entity in the region that before it is too late, let them immediately stop the crimes of this fake Zionist entity, which is killing children and women, because perhaps the coming hours will be too late for doing so.
Yo, do y'all see this? Do you see this? What? If y'all, so if they roll up in there, then what?
لحظة بلحظة ولن تؤثر الاتصالات في الكواليس التي جرت معنا من قبل دول كبرى.
طبعا دریافتم.
I have realized that according to the scenarios set by Hezbollah, any step the resistance would take will result in a huge earthquake against the Zionist entity.
Sorry.
If the international community, the United Nations, and actors in the world and region who support the Zionist entity's wars are reluctant, they will receive a suitable response in place that the resistance deems appropriate.
پاسخ در زمان
All right, so we basically see the gist of it. The video sticking so much, it's like pulling teeth. I'm just trying to get out of it. So yes, basically, you see what I'm saying. These other countries aren't going. Iran is saying, look, if you roll up in there, then we attack it. Okay, so you got them positioned outside of Gaza after they've been straight up, dropping, we'll say we'll drop bombs on. We'll be actually specific. They've been firing missiles, over there and such, and they lined up out there, and so they just ready, waiting to go in. So if they go in, then what happens? Then now these other countries get involved. Now you got 12 military bases, United States military bases being attacked in the Middle East over the last 24 hours, right? And so people aren't just mad at the Jewish people, they're mad at the United States, right? And so with all that being said, this is what the United States wants. They want to be in this war. That's why they're saying we can't back down. It's none of your business. Why do you stick your nose in people's business, right? You incite war, and then you pretend to be the good guys, and like you're the rescue. You got to come to the rescue. We have to. We're the beacon of light, right? We're the order. We're the order in this world, and so we have to do something, right? Our national security is in trouble. Your national security is in trouble, but it's because the Most High is judging you. Okay, and so we're getting ready to get into yes, order out of chaos. Yes. So with all that saying, I want to get into what came to me last night when DJ and I were talking. After we seen that speech that Biden gave, and then I started to think about that Albert Pike letter, which we're getting ready to pull up. Basically, but before I say that, I just want to say that I have always stated that I believe that the United States wants this place destroyed, and it's just based off of things that they do. Like, for instance, okay, they don't prepare. They have no shelters for nuclear war. Other countries, other nations do. Absolutely, they do. You know what I mean? And they do drills, and they prepare their people, right? That's number one. Number two, you sticking your nose in other people's business. You treat people any kind of way. You know what I mean? Just the way that they play the role that they play in the world stage. These nations can see through that, but they want this place purposely destroyed because their mantra is out of the ashes, right? The phoenix rises. So again, somebody said order out of chaos. Mariah said, excuse me if I pronounced that wrong, said order out of chaos. That's what they want, right? They want this new system, so therefore they got to destroy the old system. So how do you do that? You got to demolish it. You got to self-inflict, right? Going back to what I was talking about at the top of the video, I believe that this is going to be self-inflicted. So all that being said, they want this to happen. They want to get attacked. They know what's going to be the result of this. They're getting involved in this mess. The Jewish people are going to roll up into Gaza. Iran's going to hop in. Syria, everybody's going to hop in. It's going to be all full-fledged showdown, and then they're going to turn the nukes on this nation, right? And we know, of course, that the Most High is going to deliver us, because we're not getting destroyed with this nation. We're not getting destroyed with the nation. So time is definitely short, extremely short. And not just, I started to get annoyed with hearing, soon, you know what I mean? But we're at the point where soon is like now, you understand what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I'm going to get into what I think is going to happen. I think that the Jewish state, we'll call it that. I don't even want to call it Israel, because they ain't Israel. They ain't Yasharal. The Jewish state is going to be destroyed. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be destroyed. And from that destruction, it's going to send the church, Christians, into utter chaos. It's the destruction. Okay. When because they're going to do what the nation's telling them not to do, right? Don't go in there. Don't go in Gaza on foot. They're going to do it, right? You don't line up around a border to say, okay, peace out. All right, I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna leave. No, you're going to go up in there. The United States is wants this to happen, right? Because they're saying we can't let Hamas, right? And so Hamas, but you're killing hundreds of innocent people, right? These are men, women, and children. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. If you're saying that this group attacked the Jewish people, but you want to slaughter them all in Gaza, that don't make no sense. You understand what I'm saying? And so I believe that the Jewish state of Israel, the Jewish state, is going to be destroyed. And when the Jewish state is destroyed, it's going to send people into chaos in the Christian world, because their eschatology is all banking on this being this people's survival. Let me get into the eschatology, just in case no one knows what their eschatology is, right? Okay, so number one, okay, where according to Eurocentric eschatology, right, we're in the age of grace. Now, during the age of grace, right, Yahuwah is not judging anyone, right? He can't judge anyone, because we're in the age of grace, right? This is their eschatology. I'm sharing with you what they believe. This is not what Brainy believes anymore, because the Most High pulled me out of that, right? But this is what they believe. So we're in the age of grace, and you get saved, filled with the Holy Spirit. But the whole purpose of the age of grace is so that you get saved, right? Before the rapture happens, because you got to get saved before the rapture happens, or else you're not going to get taken out of the way. You're going into the tribulation. So number one, we're in the age of grace, right? So basically, it's just kind of, you just do whatever. It's kind of like a free for all. If he's not judging anyone, then everybody can just do what you want, but you better get saved before the rapture happens. Okay. So the age of grace, number two, the age of grace ends with the fullness of the Gentiles. Now, according to their eschatology, right, fullness of the Gentiles is when that last Gentile gets saved, right? When that last Gentile gets saved, the rapture happens. And then tribulation happens, right? Okay, so the age of grace ends with the fullness of the Gentiles, which is that last Gentile being saved, right? And then we're going to keep going from there. And so when the rapture happens, after the age of grace closes with the fullness of the Gentiles, the rapture happens, and then all hell breaks loose, right? War, famine, desperation for the left behind, for those that don't know what's going on. What happened to the people that disappeared and left their clothes? You know what I mean? So the world descends into utter chaos. And then here comes the Antichrist, right? This is number 4, or number 4. After the pre-trib rapture happens, the 7-year tribulation begins, also known as Jacob's trouble, right? Of course, we know that Jacob's trouble began at the start of this, right? Jacob's trouble is ending, it's not beginning. All that said, we're talking about their eschatology. So their eschatology, according to their eschatology, the pre-trib rapture happens and the 7-year tribulation begins. The Antichrist rises, right? That's the next thing on the list. Number 4, the Antichrist rises and he declares 3.5 years of peace, right? The Israelites, they trust the Antichrist, they're friends, everything's good, right? 3.5 years of peace that the Jewish people have when the Antichrist comes. But all of a sudden, whoa, hold on now. The Antichrist comes and he sits down in the newly built third temple. He sits his butt down in a seat, and then he declared, and then all hell breaks loose, and they run off to the mountains and they stay out there for 3.5 years, right? Until Yahushua comes back, or who they're waiting for is Jesus, which is their version of Yahushua. We'll just say, you know what I mean? Their made up version. So all that being said, that's their eschatology, right? That's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to happen. And that's it. And that's all. And but best believe they are on pins and needles, because they believe that at any moment they're going to get raptured. Let me tell you something. The Christian church is probably going off right now because of what's happening. Like, Jacob's trouble is about to begin. Oh, we can't be here for that. World War III is about to begin. We can't be here for that. Right. So what would happen, y'all? What would happen if the Jewish state of Israel got destroyed? That would literally destroy all of their eschatology, literally all of it. And it would leave them what? Desperate and confused, falling away from the faith. They won't know where to turn. Right. And so getting back to this letter that I'm getting ready to share, when Albert Pike would say, well, it's going to destroy, this war that breaks out is going to destroy Christianity, right? And atheism. Because when it said when they don't have anywhere to put their adoration anymore, then they're going to give them the light of Lucifer. That's what these Luciferians believe, right? They're going to start this war. It's going to kick off, and they're going to destroy each other, and it's going to make Christianity obsolete. Right. And so let's go to this letter real quick and just read a couple of seconds from it. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm reading something. All right, so here we go. Real quick. Let's say new tab. Okay, so the Third World War. So this is an excerpt from this Freemason, right? In the 1800s, he was a prominent Freemason, Luciferian, whole 9 yard. And so he's talked about the First World War, the Second World War, and it played out just as he said it would. They planned these things. These Luciferians, they planned these things. So according to the Third World War, it says the Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of any differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. Is this what those are Zionists, right? And the leaders of the Islamic world. Okay. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Now, when I was reading this, when I was in Christianity, I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't get how that's possible. Like, how they cancel each other out? I don't get it. You know what I mean? So anyways, keep going. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. Can't you see that happening? We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and the most bloody turmoil. That reminds me of the purge. Like all hell's going to break loose. Savagery, bloody turmoil. You know, people are going to be fighting. You know what I mean? Because nations are going to be divided, so on and so forth. Then everywhere, the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, people rising up and stuff, and you know, killing people, doing whatever they're doing, will exterminate. So the citizens will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an idea, but not knowing where to render its adoration. Okay, so something happened and they have nowhere to put their adoration anymore, right? Okay, there's a reason for that. Will receive the true light of true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. These people are delusional. Brought finally out in the public view. The manifestation will result in the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. And so when I would read that, I'd be like, what is it? What? You know what I mean? Okay, seeing how the first two world wars, how he described them, they happen just like that, because, you know, these people are behind this stuff. When he described that Third World War, I'm like, how's Christianity going to be destroyed and atheism? Well, according to them, they're going to destroy the Muslim world, the Zionists. They're going to destroy each other, and then therefore can't, you know, both destroy each other, and then therefore people aren't going to know where to put their adoration. I'm like, well, how's that possible? It's because if you kill these people, if you destroy the Jewish state of Israel, people will lose they won't know what to do, right? Because it'll be like this. Imagine it being you. Imagine you're in Eurocentric Christianity, right? And you're expecting, you say we're in the age of grace. You're expecting the rapture to happen. You're expecting the Antichrist to come forward. You're expecting that the Israel will have 3.5 years of goodness, and then 3.5 years of pure torture during Jacob's trouble when they have to flee to the mountains. You're expecting all these things, right? But the minute those people get destroyed, the minute that place gets hit with rockets, missiles, anything like that, then their eschatology is thrown out the window. Then they're like, but how's that possible? This can't be possible. Those are God's people. God, he wouldn't destroy them. He wouldn't. This doesn't make sense. Is the Bible even real? Is it? Well, I don't know what to believe. I don't know where to put my adoration. I don't know what to think. And then they said they're going to give you the light of Lucifer when you don't know where to put your adoration. Why don't you know where to put your adoration? Because you are confused, lost, and astounded, because the people that you thought were God's chosen people that you based all your eschatology off of just got destroyed. Now what? Right? And so the Luciferians are banking on that void, them filling that void, right? But that void, see, they're not accounting is the plans of the Most High, because the Most High said, what? Darkness upon the land, gross darkness to people, but the glory shines on us. And they come to the brightness of our rising. How do you think that the Jewish people are going to end up at our feet? Right? As Revelation 3:9 states, right? As Isaiah 49:23 states. Isaiah 49:23 states the same thing as Revelation 3:9. Let's look at that real quick. Let's go over that real quick. I'm sorry it's such an echo in here. I'm sorry. So we'll tap into this. All right, computer. All right. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. Read the whole chapter, because 49 is flying. Okay. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am Yahuwah, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. They're going to lick up the dust of your feet. Okay. All right. They're going to lick up the dust of your feet. We know these scriptures, right? We know Revelation 3:9, but I want to show you just back at, Isaiah 49 says they're going to lick the dust of your feet, right? Well, Revelation 3:9 says what? Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and know I have loved thee, right? Same situation, right? He's just stating it. He stated it in Revelation, but before that, it was stated in Isaiah, right? Okay. Talisha, funny. And so there we go. And so they're counting on the void. I think they're going to destroy the Jewish people, right? The Jewish people is going to get destroyed. It's going to be like, oh my goodness, this is impossible. There's no rapture. Wait a minute. What do we think now? What are we supposed to? But it's impossible. Those are the. But what do we? Oh, we're going through the tribulation. Oh my God. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Do I even believe? I don't know. It's going to fall away. That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be your mind. See, I praise the Most High that He told us who we were and that He broke the spell of Eurocentric Christianity early, because it takes time to adjust to the truth, right? It took me some time to break those things, the thought process of that eschatology because I was so, it's been a major interest of mine. And so I studied, but I studied according to how they said it was going to go. And I tried to make things fit. And even when I couldn't make things fit or things didn't sit right, I said, well, maybe there's something I'm not understanding, or I got to figure out how to make it sit right? Because I didn't know any better. Then the Most High told me who I was. He told us who we were. And we had time to break that. They're not going to have any time. It's going to be split second. Oh my goodness, what just happened? This is impossible. God's going to protect Israel. That's the apple of God's eye. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Right? So the Luciferians want to fill that void, but Yahuwah is going to fill that void, because it may be a month or two. There may be a little bit of time. Darkness upon the land, gross darkness to people, right? But then the glory shines down. And then all of a sudden it switches. The camera angle switch, it switches, and it's on us. Then I believe through healing, we're going to the restoration of our people, that they see, because they got to see to believe, right? Blessed are those that believe and don't see, but they have to see to believe. That the common man has to see to believe. And the Most High going to show him, because everything He's going to do, I love saying it. And I know some of my close brothers and sisters, they probably get tired of hearing me say it, but He's going to do it in the sight of the nations, right? Shall a nation be born in a day? Absolutely. In 1 hour, Babylon is destroyed. Quick, right? And a nation will be born, because the Most High has to get us out of here quick. The Most High has to get us out of here quick, because it's fitting to go down. You understand what I'm saying? So excuse I'm a little hype, but that's why I had to get on. So I believe they're going to get destroyed. People are going to be like, what the world? This is impossible. This can't happen. Is blah, blah, blah. Okay, now what? Now the world descends into chaos. The United States has been attacked. I believe that the United States won't be destroyed prior to us leaving, but there will be an attack. You know what I mean? I mean, they whether it be infrastructure, EMP, whether it be a straight up attack. There's plenty of brothers and sisters that are having dreams about an attack on New York specifically, and then seeing foreign military on the ground. DJ being one of them. The dream he had about us when we were leaving, he's seen foreign military. He said they weren't even looking at us, right? Foreign military. He's not the first one. There's plenty of brothers and sisters that have seen an attack. And then if you guys know anything about iPad Goat, mind you, wintertime, it'll be the perfect time to attack, right? But iPad Goat, that video from Heliofont or whatever, that just displays this cryptic events and everything. What is it? I was going to call it the Eiffel Tower. Y'all, it's late. It's midnight. The Statue of Liberty was destroyed in the winter time, right? So that's a side note. But the point is that when it seems all hope is lost, right? Well, what do we do now? The light shines on us. Boom. And the Most High reveals us and pronounces us His people. And then people have two choices. Either you cling and you leave and you say, like the scriptures say, 10 take Zechariah 8:23, I believe, 10 take hold of one that is an Israelite and say, I hear that you who is with you, I will come with you. Either you one of those people, or you say, I ain't following you know what, nowhere. I don't care who they are. And you stay here and you die with your country. You understand what I'm saying? Or you get taken into captivity, one or the other, if you survive the attack. Point being, they aren't accounting for what the Most High is going to do. The Luciferians aren't, but the Most High has a plan. And so, again, I don't know if this is how it's going to go. It just looks like when you got these nations that are openly threatening the Jewish people and saying, hey, if you go up in there, we're going to attack you. The Jewish people cannot fend off all these Middle Eastern nations. And you know what I'm saying? And then the United States gets involved, and then Russia gets involved, and China gets involved. And, and okay, they won't survive it. The Jewish state of Israel will not survive it. And it's going to blow Christians' minds. And this is what it's going to take. I feel like this would be what it would take to break that spell of Eurocentric Christianity off these people and get them to open their eyes and see the truth. And that's just what I believe. And so that's what came to me last night. I finally understood how they could destroy Christianity. How could these Luciferians, how could they do that? How's it possible? You make them not believe. You make them question everything by destroying the people that they thought were God's people, right? And you leave a void, but Yahuwah is going to fill it. He's going to fill it. And so, right here and right now, brothers and sisters, if you would have asked me 2-3 months ago if I thought this was going to be happening like this, I would say, it's possible. That's what I would say. It's absolutely possible. But would I expect it to transpire so fast? We got on the road, y'all, to come to Georgia, right? Took us a couple of days to get here. By the time we got here, it was already over there. I'm like, how's that even? We literally just. It's been, it happened overnight, and our birth is going to happen overnight, just like it was stated by Tail Ministries. The change is going to happen, but there might be a void for a second. It might be a month, it might be 2 months, it might be a couple of weeks, but there's going to be some type of darkness, whether it be from war, whether it be from the unknown. You understand what I'm saying? Well, you just don't know. That just destroyed your mind, the seeing them being just, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Wait, that's how I see it. And that may not be how it's going to go. But that's how I see it. That's how I see it transpiring. I really do believe they're going to be utterly destroyed, and it's going to shake up the world. It's going to shake up the world. And if I'm wrong, then okay, because it's okay to speculate. But, I feel like the Most High gives us sense. He gives us a mind, and he blesses us with understanding when we need it. And I pray that this is one of those moments where he just dropped that into my brain. Cause I tell you, I was sitting there kicking it on the bed, we're just talking, and I'm like, oh snap. You know what I mean? So, and I do agree something big is coming. Absolutely, Angie. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that it made sense. I know we've been here for a little while. We've been here a little over an hour. But I hope that, what do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about that? That potentially happening? Could you see that potentially happening? I'm curious. I'm curious to know. I will open it up if you would like to speak on it for a few minutes. And if not, then we'll close it out. But of course, I always, as I know it's been a while. But I always say, don't be shy. You know what I mean? Don't be shy. And here, let me put this here in the chat. I probably won't pin it. Run, Forrest, run. New form of the virus coming out. Yeah, they ain't even look. It is, but let me tell you something. They at this rate, they don't even need a virus. They just look, stuff just got to pop off. You know, you know what I'm saying? They don't even need that. That would be the icing on the cake. You know. Yeah, I'm not gonna go to YouTube and try to pin it and everything on this laptop. But if you would like to, if there's something I want to know, what do you think? And that's a good idea here. What do you think about what I just said about the possibility that these people are going to be destroyed, and that's going to send the church into an uproar, cause that void, and from that, the Most High is going to fill that void with the truth, right? What do you think about that? Does anyone have anything to say in regards to that? Thank you, sister. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. That means the U.S. would also fall. Yep. Here, let me try to get this. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Hold on. Make sure I'm doing it. Hey, girl. How you doing?
I don't know why I would do something like that when I always complain when other people do that.
What's up? How you doing?
Wild. I
It's
know.
a long time. Your hair is cute.
Thank you. You're all up in my bedroom.
Oh, I see you, girl. So what do you think? What do you think about that? What I presented there. What are your thoughts? Yay or nay? And if you have anything to add or subtract, what do you think?
So I have been thinking about the great falling away, and I've actually started seeing Israelites falling away. Awakened Israelites that are like, nah, they're starting to follow these nonsensical channels. And there was a couple that I met, a beautiful family with children, and they were getting their passports done and ready to go back to their land. And I texted her, I was like, how was your Sukkot? And she's like, oh, we're not really doing that Hebrew Israelite thing anymore. And I'm like,
wow,
I know
that's insane. But that's it's going to happen. But that's wow. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
So as far as the Christians, it's going to be, I don't know, I guess the Messiah, when he said that, there's going to be 4 different types of soil, not all Israelites are going to be that fertile soil. So, you could just imagine the Christians that are they don't have that relationship. They're not talking to each other the way that we do. And if they're not hearing back from him, seeing him work in their lives like that, then it's going to be really easy for them to fall away. But I do know a lot of them, because I watch certain channels and things like that, and I'm reading the comments. A lot of them already know that Israel is not the place, and those are not the people, and that the Black people are the people.
Yeah.
So that's reassuring already. But my idea and my thought process on when we're going to be leaving, which I agree with you. I think we're out of here really, really soon.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be just like with the Persia invasion in Ezra, when Ezra left Babylon. They were allowed to leave, and Russia already knows who we are. So he's not going to touch Yah's children. And just like with Ukraine, they're going to infrastructure. There's going to be infrastructure that they're going to attack. They're not really going to be trying to kill a lot of people because they want their slaves. But
Yep. That is true.
they want their slaves, but I think they're going to invade by land, air, and sea. So, when they come, we're going to be leaving very shortly. Leaving very shortly. So I just say have your bags packed, because I just heard a message today, and my ruach is just filled. It's just filled because it just went right along with all of that. all of that. But when it comes
Yeah.
to the Christians, I actually feel sorry for them. And I think that the tribulation saints are the ones that are going to hang on and that are going to stay with the Father.
Mhm.
And then they'll join us. So yeah, that's my thought process on it.
I appreciate you sharing your thought process. It's good to hear from you. It's been so long.
No.
Yeah, I enjoy listening to you because you're well thought out, right? You're well thought out. And so yes, I agree that well, I will say that I didn't think about the fact that you don't want to kill too many people because you actually want to take people captive, right? They have to be taken. Some will be taken back to their lands. Maybe they'll just take over. Well, the scriptures say that this place won't be inhabited. So I'm assuming that they're going to leave with them. As far as when they take them, they're gonna leave and so on and so forth. And the rest of the land will be dwelt by or indwelt by what the scriptures talk about.
Jackals, yeah.
Yes, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be a dead place. And so yeah, and as far as the Gentiles that you talked about not having a deep relationship with the Most High, I've had Gentile friends that they have a Christian relationship. Do some what do they call those? I apologize, it's late. Devotionals. You do a devotional, and you go to church, but if something's going on in your life, you don't pray. They have no relationship. And I know this specifically because I've asked two different Gentiles, something is happening in their life. And I said, well, did you pray about it? Well, no. What you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So there is a vague or not so deep of a connection. And so I think you're right. It would be easy for those to fall away and be like, well, I thought the church told me it goes this way, and now it's not going this way. And so, okay, I'm gone. It's shocking to hear, like what you shared about that family. It's like, well, we're not really doing that Hebrew Israelite stuff anymore. Like, I don't know how you get into this and then you back out. And maybe it's just because I can't imagine that myself, but it doesn't compute. You know what I mean?
It's almost like a brand new delusion went over them. Like they I forget the exact I can find it, but I don't want to send anybody to the channel that she went to and that she's listening to this particular gentleman. And he has some type of a series and she's like, oh, it's very thought-provoking.
Well, how Cheese Whiz is made could be very thought provoking. You know what I mean? Like anything could be very thought provoking. That don't mean is it's good for you. You know what I mean? So, but hey, that's where we're at right now, and I notice a lot going on in the community, obviously as well. A lot going on in the community, a lot of shifting happening right now, and it's of the Most High. You know what I mean? The Most High is bringing to light what needs to be brought to light. As far as I just see, how can I put this? I see people coming forth, saying certain things, and I never thought that I would hear them say. And but hey, the Most High is exposing what needs to be exposed, and those of us that are on the path with him, we're going to stay on the path with him and let those fall by the wayside, right? So I appreciate that.
One thing with you.
Yes.
You see my name change, right?
Yeah. But I recognized your face, so I'm like, I know who that is.
So, I joined the New Assembly and, they all got their names, their Hebrew names. And I'm like, I still got Charlotte. How do I get my Hebrew name? And one of the sisters, she's like, have you asked the Most High? And I'm like, no. And, they've been around me enough. They've like, well, it seems like you got a direct connection with him. So why don't you ask him? And part of me was scared because I didn't know what I was going to hear. But I kept I asked. And I kept hearing Hadassah. And I'm like, okay, wait, that's Esther. And she married a Gentile. And like, I was just finding all of the negative, the cons about that name. And so one of the sisters, she just started sending me screenshots of things that Hadassah means. And one of it says that she was the myrtle. Well, first it means myrtle tree, and myrtle is actually a family name. It was my great grandmother's name. It was my aunt's name, and it was someone else's name. But it says that she was the myrtle, the symbol of salvation of the Yahudim people in Zechariah's vision, as well as the sign that the people were moving into a movement of sacred redemption. Like Abba.
Yep.
Abba.
Yeah, just for you. That's just for you, and he'll do that. You ask, and he'll let you know. So that's what's up. That's what's up. So
but our sacred redemption is coming soon. That's our Exodus.
Absolutely, absolutely. I truly believe that for what we're seeing at the rate that things are happening, I believe that next year sometime we'll be on our way. And I feel like we would have to be on our way because it's going to spill back over here. So, all right. Does anyone else have it? I'm just going to look in the comments and see if does anyone have anything to add to that? Is there any thoughts on the possibility of the Jewish people being destroyed? What do you think about that, sis? What do you think about the possibility of them what's happening leading to them actually, and I don't want to say destroyed as in there's no more of them, but like that place getting hit and it being significant enough to be like, wait a minute, I thought that couldn't happen. Oh my goodness, now what do you think about that?
Well, every time I see any of their faces on any of the broadcasts, I just see Hasatan. And they are his synagogue. So and then I'll see like TikToks where these Israeli women are making comments and they're like having no regard to the Palestinians and the children and all of that. And it's like only their lives matter. Nobody else's lives matter. Only their lives matter.
Yep.
And it kind of makes me, because I know that recompense is going to happen. I'm not cheering on the death of a lot of people. However, I'm not going to condemn what the Most High is doing. Those over there in the Middle East, all those nations that are going to come and converge up against Israel, they are all nations that partook in the Arabic slave trade. So their recompense is on their head right now. But I feel like Yah is having our enemies take care of one another, just like Jehoshaphat. Just
there
like
you go.
Jehoshaphat. So and didn't the angel? I mean, didn't Yah tell Enoch that to tell the angels that he will make them watch their children kill each other?
Yes, absolutely. But he was talking in regards to the watchers, right? He was saying that but they are the seed of the fallen. I mean, well, that's a whole nother situation now. Well, that blow your mind when you think about it. When you really start, like, oh snap, you ain't real. Like, I'm sorry. Oh, but that's the blow your mind.
But it's like, so that nation, we know that Kohan and Sons had a lot to do with the slave trade and all that here at the transatlantic. So it's like you got the Arabic slave trade on this side that's going to get taken care of, those people.
Yep.
And then you got these people, and then it's going to bring it over to the rest.
Babylon, right? The Most High got I agree, sis. I totally agree. The Most High got this down pat, and so I could see that. I could totally see that. It's going, and maybe that's what that again, that darkness upon the land and the gross darkness. I mean, it's just going to be all full out war, right? And like you said, the nations, our enemies, taking care of themselves, and then it comes over here for that final, that final blow on the head of the whore. You know what I mean? And so I agree with you when you say you don't cheer for the slaughter of the people. But I saw a broadcast from True News, Rick Wiles, and he was talking about how on Twitter, I believe it was, the the Jewish people were doing things like turning on their faucets and turning on their lights and teasing, making videos teasing the Palestinians because they didn't have water, they didn't have lights and stuff like that. And so I'm like, oh, they wicked, and they need to be humbled. And the thing is, according to the scriptures, they will be humbled, right? And they will be down at our feet. Now, how do you bring a nation like that down to the feet of a true Hebrew, right? How do you do that? You gotta try about just about annihilate them. You know what I mean? To get them to humble themselves. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm absolutely in agreement. Yeah. Well, I guess all I can say is we shall see. And the thing is that we could wake up tomorrow. And they could decide that they're going in there tomorrow. And then Iran could say, you know what, let's go. And then, the United States, okay, I'm in it. And then, Russia's like, all right, who won it? And then China, like, let me get some too. You know what I mean? I see it. That's
part of me is like, how long can they get? Like, just let's go.
Right. Well, we there. You know what I mean? It's been. It feels like it's been a long time coming, but it hasn't, because if we're thinking about how fast it's kicked off, or we'll just say from our 400 years, right? How fast it's kicked off, it's only been 3 years, and not even a full 3 years yet. You know what I mean? Since everything kind of just started to happen, with COVID and all this stuff, and so on and so forth. So, it's happened very fast. It's just me too. We've been watching like inch by inch, day by day. And sometimes, I'd had to back up and say, okay, I need to focus. I need to, I can continue to watch, but I have to focus on what's in front of me as well, with my family and so on and so forth. And so having that balance, right? Because sometimes you can get exhausted when you're watching every move and just like, okay, please, and so, but we're here, and the Most High, He got it all under control. He got it. We're literally in the middle of fulfillment of prophecy. We're there. We're in the middle of it unfolding, and so now all we got to do is wait for them ships. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Call us home. Yes. Because we're like what? We're that little kid that has been left at school waiting for our mommy to come or our daddy to come and pick us up. We sitting on the steps outside of the school and we just waiting, and we're kind of crying because we just want to go home. We want daddy to come and get us. That's where I am right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's gonna make it happen. And I love how he reassures us along the way, right? Sometimes we need those nudges because we get tired and we're like, Father, when? Or, is this gonna happen in my lifetime? Is it, what I mean? Sometimes we ask questions that we know the answer to, but we're, like you said, we're like that child and we just want to go home. And we, like one of my sons, Emmanuel, he'll be like, if it's an example of something he'll do. If I tell him, he asked me, can I go outside right now? My 6-year-old, I'm like, well, you can't go right now. He'd be like, I can't go outside forever, right?
Yeah.
Manny, really? That's not what I said. You know what I mean? I said right now. So we're like, are we ever going home? Like, you're going home? Yes, but you got to be patient. We're like children. We are His children, and so as Abigail say, I just want to go home. Look, straight up, hashtag just want to go home. That's gonna be the new hashtag right there. But yeah, all we can do is wait and see. But that's what came to mind. Just seeing how this is starting to unfold. And, I appreciate the conversation with you. And I hope that we get to talk again soon.
Wow.
Because I really enjoy it. I really do.
You're on the East Coast now. I mean,
yes, ma'am.
You're close, but you're not that close. But you're right here where these ships are going to be coming into dock. So.
Yes. Hallelujah. We're excited about that. And we're just, I feel like we're at what did DJ call it? he didn't call it a checkpoint, but maybe he called it a checkpoint. Like we got here, and then I feel like we're here, and then
You're in the lobby.
Yes, or as the Most High told us when the Citrus Growth made that the draw for us, we're in the waiting room, right? That's what he told us. Absolutely, we're in the lobby, we're in the waiting room, and it's we're getting ready to go. So I'm
delivery room.
He said, "What now?"
We're in a delivery room.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Right. You breathe through those contractions. You know what I mean? But
I had 5. I'm used to that.
Yeah, there we go. See, absolutely, and that's a side note. DJ, we don't know what the top of the year is going to look like, and I'm due the first week of January. And I kid you not, it was probably about a couple months ago. DJ came to me and he said, "I think I should look up how to
deliver
cut an umbilical cord." And I was like, "What?" Okay.
You need to get the.
And then now fast forward, I'm like, we need to get the stuff just in case, because if it pops off and I can't, because we moved, so I don't, with the cost of moving and everything like that, having a midwife right now, that's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna have to do it the conventional way. I have to go somewhere. But if things pop off, and it's chaos, then I've had 5 too. So I guess we doing it.
You are loved in our community. Just ask. A midwife in your area will come to you.
Oh yeah, but I have to do a little research, and I have some time. Because I'm not due for 2 months. So I'm not due until the top of January. January 7th is my due date. So, and I appreciate you saying that as far as me being able to. So I could do some research, but with that being said, I mean, even still, some might pop off. She might not be able to get here. And so,
they have these little kits that I know when I was with Questina, Africa, one of the countries asked for these little kits for the expecting moms with the umbilical cord clip and some of the other things to be in a kit, because they have to buy that stuff and take it to the hospital with them. But
absolutely,
that kit should be in your go bag.
No, absolutely, I agree. And the last baby we had, Eliana, it was at home. So sister here, so said that I might have to give birth at the house. So we did have a home birth the last time, which was great. The best part was being left alone after I gave birth. You know what I mean? And so it's not like it's rocket science to give birth at home. You just you know what to do, especially when you've had children, right? It's the same thing. And so absolutely, DJ and I were talking about a birthing kit today. How we need to make sure that we get whatever we need, because it's not expensive, right? Just to have those tools just in case. You know what I mean? If I might be giving birth, running to the boat. I don't know. You know what I mean? But all in all, it will be well. And we found out that this is our 4th son, so we're having our 4th little boy. So it'll be 4 boys, 2 girls, and we're gonna hold off from having any more until we get to the continent. I'm tired. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, so that was a thought. That was just a thought that crossed our minds. Like, okay, with things happening like this, it's a realistic idea, So, brothers and sisters, we always say, have some extra water, have some extra food, just have it, because we may not be able to go out, but at the same time, even if you are able to go out, do you want to go out in the midst of the chaos? Because people don't know how to act when stuff happens. We saw what happened with the last thing. People lose their minds, toilet paper over this and the other. People be ready to fight you and stab you over a can of pickles. We ain't going out like that. You know what I mean? So just get some stuff that you need. You know what I mean? Just at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of food and water. You know what I mean? That's easy. Tuna and canned goods. Peanut butter, boxes of cereal. I eat some dry cereal in a second. You're gonna have to drink some water with it because your throat gonna be dry. But still, there's things that you can do. And so, we can keep it simple. It doesn't have to be too well thought out, but thought out enough where it pops off and like, oh snap, I ain't got nothing. Now you got to go out there.
Get some rice and beans.
Yes. Yep, that protein that start you'll be just fine. And so simple things, just y'all see what's happening, and so just be prepared. But I'm gonna go ahead and probably wrap it on up. This is the latest I've ever been on, but I'm so wired. I don't know if I'm gonna actually be able to go to sleep. So we'll see. We'll see. But I just want to say that I appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts, spending some time with me. It was good to talk to you again.
Oh.
When we start these fellowships up, we're gonna let things how should I say, we're gonna continue to settle in and get back into our routine. You're still homeschooling, right? You still homeschooling?
I am.
Yeah. So we getting, it feels good to get back into that routine. Like, all right, now y'all, all right, come on. So as soon as we had our first week of getting back into that, starting on Monday, I'm feeling good about it. And as soon, maybe another week of that, and then we can begin to fellowship like we used to. And I sincerely hope, and I'm not just saying this because I enjoy you, sister. I sincerely hope you come on and just chop it up with me.
Well, my notification bell is on, and when I see details,
right on. And I just want to say thank you guys for everybody that came into the chat. I'm gonna go back through and read everything, and I'm sorry if I didn't respond to any questions, if there were any. But I appreciate everybody that came through, y'all. This is a lot for me, So as far as 178 people in here, I appreciate y'all, every last one of y'all. I hope y'all have a great Shabbat, and I hope let's just continue to pray for our deliverance and just praise the Most High while He's doing it. He's doing the work. We literally we're on the cusp and the brink of our birth and our deliverance. It may get a little funny looking outside for a second or two. It may get a little ugly, but we know that the Most High is going to deliver us. So let's just ride this out, stay prayed up, prepare what we can. And, I look forward to seeing whoever it is that y'all know what I look like. So you see me, speak, you better speak. But I look forward to seeing you guys over there on the continent. And I just love y'all sincerely, genuinely. Love you guys. And I'm gonna wrap it up, sis. So I hope all is well with you and your family. And I hope all is well with you guys and your families. And just continue to pray and praise, right? Because it's about that time, y'all. And no bringing grills. Nobody bring a grill on the boat, please. I'm joking. You bring one if you want to. You bring one. Okay, but anyways, all right, y'all. Love y'all. Hope y'all have a great Shabbat. And thank you, Eric. I thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Thank you. Oh, look, Talisha, look, where my baby weight? I got some baby weight. It's in my belly. I haven't gained much, but I've been really strategic on how can I say what not to. I've done better this time around because my last pregnancy, I was eating everything. This time around, I'm like, I'm not gonna blow up. I'm not gonna do it. So I'm trying to, I eat more at home now than I did my last pregnancy. And so when you eat at home, you don't take in 1,300, 1,500 calories a meal like when you would go out and eat. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate that. Thank you. But all right, sis. All right, y'all. All right. Only grill in my mouth. You funny. All right. Hey, Dave. Peace and blessings, Dave. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all take care. And I will talk to you later. All right. Shabbat shalom.